teams flying high coming into this game. Tim Lambright going up and getting the football.
No matter what part of the field they're on, they can break a huge play.
Anthony Francis down the sideline. He's going to go in for a score. Big pickup there for Angelo Blake. He just picks up those big chunks of yardage each time he carries the ball.
Boston just seems to be a little sharp out in this game. There's just no substitute for straight-out speed. We've seen some amazing games, but that was
one of the best we've seen in a long time. We got a Dorchester neighborhood rivalry for you tonight, folks, at White Stadium, as the TechBoston Bears and the Latin Academy Dragons will be once again playing for the Mason Cup here at White Stadium in Jamaica Plain. Well, everybody, I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner as always, Alan Platt. Alan, we have two high schools that sit in the same neighborhood, in the neighborhood of Dorchester. We've got TechBoston and Latin Academy. They've always been sort of in the same league in Boston City League high school football, squaring off again tonight. This is always a fun rivalry in the city of Boston.
Oh, it definitely is. As a matter of fact, for some of the old-timers, TechBoston's the old Dorchester High.
That's right.
Okay, and as a matter of fact, this is for the Mason Cup. Joe Mason was the longtime head coach for the Dorchester Bears, so
like
a lot of history.
Years,
exactly,
right?
A lot of history involved and a lot of emotion too. Because last time we saw TechBoston, their basketball team was on its way to a state championship.
That's
and it wasn't
right.
that only a few months ago. Okay, and then we saw Latin Academy last week, right? So we have some recent viewing of these athletes. An interesting matchup because both teams, early in the season, the third game of the year, both teams now at this point want to establish the fact that first two games, jitters, get that out of the way,
sure.
Get the young kids used to playing varsity football. Hopefully your veteran seniors have taken the leadership role, and this is the kind of game that a lot of coaches think will sort of springboard the rest of your season.
That's right, and this is sort of the start of league play across the city with this game tonight. A lot of other Boston North and Boston South teams are playing each other for their first league game of 2018. We'll start with the TechBoston Bears, and a little bit of turnover. They graduated 10 seniors, but one player that came back this season, a very good athlete, Marcus Gonzalez. He's their quarterback now after being a receiver last year.
Well, like you said, best description, athlete. Can throw the ball, can run the football, very versatile. And like you said, to have him back as a senior quarterback, coach loves having that kind of experience in that important a position. So Marcus will be keyed on definitely by that Dragons defense all evening tonight. He likes to throw the ball downfield. I was watching the warm-ups. He has an excellent arm, likes those deep sideline patterns. We'll see how much of that he can do. Not much wind, a little bit of a wind. Could affect the passing game, but I think he's strong enough to throw the ball anyway.
That's right. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. Very good runner as well for the TechBoston Bears. Meanwhile, on the other side, Latin Academy, as you mentioned, we just saw them last week. Weren't really sure who was going to emerge as a star. Ryan Wynn.
They weren't either.
That's right. Their coaching staff wasn't either. Ryan Wynn's a very good receiver, but the player who kind of stood out last week was Patrick Smith. He's our spotlight player tonight. He's really their lead tailback now. He had a very good game last week.
Yeah, Patrick ended up actually having a good game on both sides of the football. This is the key play in the game right here. He was alert enough to pick up a fumble after a reception, take it in for a touchdown that helped that big comeback that we saw the Dragons have against the Boston Latin last week.
Absolutely. They see Pat Smith with some tough running last week, got in the end zone twice. One, we just saw that fumble recovery for a touchdown, and then we also saw him later on in the game, we'll see it in a second, plow through the end zone on this nice run here. So running hard between the tackles. They got that big offensive line that really helps the Dragon team.
Because he's not that big himself. He's only like 165, 68 pounds or so, but because they have those big horses up front, that gives him a lot of momentum as it hits the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it again tonight, back at White Stadium tonight. We'll see if he can pick up. He had 90 yards last week. We'll see if that continues here at White Stadium against their league rival, TechBoston. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the opening kickoff here from White Stadium in Jamaica Plain right after these words. Don't go away.
Red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Green hat. Red hat. Oops. Red shirt. Blue shirt. Yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants. Red pants. Green pants. Oops.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain as we just are about to get set to kick off here on Game of the Week as the Latin Academy Dragons are hosting the TechBoston Bears once again for the Mason Cup, which was established back in 2008, these two rivals. And we saw TechBoston come off the bus with the Mason Cup in hand, so there is an actual cup that the winner of this game will carry home, which is always fun between two rivals. And TechBoston actually won the toss, but they deferred, so they'll be kicking off. TechBoston in the white jerseys with the red trim. Meanwhile, for Latin Academy, they'll be receiving with the black jerseys and the yellow trim. TechBoston coming in 0-2 on the season, two heartbreakers to start the year.
Two losses in strange ways. They had leads in both those games. As a matter of fact, it was an absolute shootout against Georgetown to start the season. They gave up over 50 points after having a big lead. And then last week against English New Mission, they had a big lead also and ended up losing that one in overtime.
Short kick there for TechBoston, and Latin Academy going to have to field it right around the 19-yard line. So luckily the ball did not go out of bounds for the Bears.
I think the Dragon player there was hoping the ball did go out of bounds for the penalty, but at the last second he was able to cover it.
That was to Holmes, who was on the receiving end of that kick, and he is a starter at wide receiver along with Ryan Wynn. Quarterback Zach Maffeo, Cedric Johnson, and Pat Smith are the running backs for the Dragons.
Well, last week we saw the Dragons with a really diversified attack. They were able to run and pass pretty effectively. Even though they were behind part of that game, they were able to come back and win.
Now on first down from the 19, the handoff to Smith again. Pat Smith to the outside, trying to break some tackles, and he picked up a yard.
We talked about Gonzalez on the offensive side. That's Pat. That's Marcus coming up to get that first tackle of the game. The way they actually line him up, we talked about him being a good athlete. They line him up in sort of in the old days like a monster back. He can play close to the line if need be as a linebacker, or go back and pass defense.
Here's Zach Maffeo, quarterback for Latin Academy, 55 passing yards last week, 36 on the ground and a touchdown versus Boston Latin School. Only 2 for 9 through the air a week ago. You see Wynn in motion. Now it's Maffeo looking Wynn's side. That's Wynn with a beautiful catch down the sideline. Ryan Wynn off to the races, and he's going to go in standing up for a touchdown.
I'll tell you. Seeing that live, Pat, I can't tell if it was a better pass or a better catch because he was right over the shoulder. Maffeo, and you just said he only had two completions last week, but this one took his time. Excellent protection.
79 yards and a touchdown.
Put a lot of air under it, and Wynn did an excellent job running under. I tell you, over the shoulder, directly over the shoulder is a tough catch.
It is.
I mean, luckily, it's sort of overcast. There's not any kind of sunlight or bright lights to really get in his way, but beautiful connection.
81-yard drive, just 2 plays, 80-yard pass to Ryan Wynn for the touchdown. Now it's Suazo on the point after attempt. And he boots it through for Latin Academy. No, he missed it.
I think it went wide right, yeah. It looked like it was. I thought it was going to hit that upright, but instead it veered off to the right.
Last week he was 3 for 4, and the only reason he missed one because it was
That's
a
right.
botched snap.
Exactly. Yeah. As far as the touchdown again, like I said, this starts with the protection. No one even close to him. Plenty of time to step into the throw, and watch Wynn get separation right there. So he gets that one step, and the defender has no chance. Wynn, we talked about his speed before, and when you have your playmakers able to get out there early in the game, and I tell you, this bizarre season for TechBoston is continuing here with 2 plays into this game.
That's right. We talk about that pass too. The wind was actually in the face of Latin Academy on that throw from Zach Maffeo, but he still got it out there.
Again, Maffeo isn't listed as a big guy. He's like 5'7", 5'8", close to 170 pounds, but still, he had a lot of arm on that and put it exactly where it needed to be. Defender had no chance.
Certainly a great catch by Ryan Wynn, who's definitely a playmaker for this Latin Academy team. Suazo with a similar kick to TechBoston. That thing plants right. TechBoston lost the football, and Latin Academy recovered at the 31-yard line.
I'll tell you, what's the problem, even though the game's literally just started, the problem is the body language for TechBoston. And watch, it's like a pooch kick, but you got to be alert enough to know it's a live football.
But there is a penalty on the play.
You got to come back and get it. Let's see.
Offsides on Latin Academy on the kick, so they're going to re-kick it.
That's a break for TechBoston.
Huge break for TechBoston.
Your 5-yard penalty, and we'll re-kick.
It's Carlos Pizarro, the senior defensive end, who was offside on the play.
Pizarro, he actually had a good game last week defensively. But again, because they because the Dragons in black knew it was going to be a pooch kick, he's trying to use that speed to get downfield for a recovery. But like you said, TechBoston can really take a huge breath right now because they have a chance now to sort of slap each other in the helmet. Come on, wake up. Let's get into the game.
Yeah, Stephen Jolicoeur back to receive for TechBoston.
Well, it's the up guys. Yeah, the blockers have to be the ones to be alert because the ball probably isn't going to go that deep. I think they might have taken too many yards off in that one.
So now Latin Academy will kick from the 35-yard line after the 5-yard offside penalty. It was actually TechBoston who had a couple of penalties on special teams a week ago. A little bit deeper kick as LaCour fields it right around the 28-yard line. Jolicoeur now trying to escape some would-be tacklers, and he's brought down at the 23, so he lost yardage on the return.
Great coverage from Garcia and Malcolm Crispin also down. I think that's Crispin there first. Then Garcia comes in to actually wrap him up for the tackle.
Both these coaches mentioned they need to gang tackle against their league rival. Here you see the starters for TechBoston. We mentioned Gonzalez, the quarterback in the open. It's Green and Joseph in the backfield. Gilks and Jolicoeur on the outside at the receiver positions. Jolicoeur with a or a punt return for a touchdown already this year. On first down, they hand off over the right side. This time it's the number 22, Keon Henderson, who's got nowhere to go and lost yardage on first down.
That's a timing play as you have Henderson, the running back, coming from left to right, takes the handoff while he's in motion, and a very alert Dragons defense that time strung him out and actually threw him for a loss. So you see that's a timing play. He gets it. The idea is you have a head of steam because he's in motion, but it didn't matter. That time the gang tackling was there again.
Second down and 13 now for TechBoston. The man in motion again. Now it's Gonzalez going to take it himself on the option. He's got nowhere to go. He's bottled up right around the 21-yard line.
Yeah, TechBoston on these first two plays, you can see they're not getting any type of thrust from their offensive line to give the backfield a chance. Watch Black. You see a wave of Black already, as Gonzalez is just trying to find any kind of seam to make a cut. Nothing there.
Robert Marek in on the stop for the Dragons. TechBoston now backed up to the 21-yard line, 3rd and 14. So you see Gonzalez 4 rushing touchdowns for the first 2 games this season. Bears need a long play here as Gonzalez back to throw, trying to escape the rush. And Marcus is going to be sacked in the backfield. TechBoston's going backwards.
I'll tell you, disastrous series to start the game for TechBoston. Watch it again. Gonzalez, we talked about him being an athlete. That time looking downfield before he brought the ball in, but once the timing of the play is thrown off, then it's just a matter of the Dragons chasing him down.
Robert Marek again on the stop, so that's 2 sacks for him early in the first quarter. And TechBoston now going to punt the football. Back to kick for the Bears is Ivan Grand. Back to receive is the gentleman who just had that 80-yard touchdown reception, Ryan Wynn. High spiraling kick as Wynn fields it right around the 49-yard line. Wynn with a good return. Ryan Wynn spins out of a tackle. Ryan Wynn up the middle. He's shoestring tackled at the 16.
Yeah, even Grand saved a touchdown because Wynn had his eyes on those goalposts. I'm telling you. I don't think he saw Grand behind him, but he was able to catch the ankle. Watch number 1 in white right of your screen. You'll see Wynn makes a nice little stutter step to get him right there to get himself open. Runs through a tackle, spin move, and here comes Grand right there to just get the ankle. Otherwise, Wynn may have been gone for a second touchdown.
So they mark him down at the 18, so it was a 33-yard punt return for Ryan Wynn, and now Latin Academy wants a timeout. Rocco Ziza didn't like what he saw.
Well, they had 12 people out there. so he
didn't like seeing that.
Yeah, they had 12 people out there, and the extra guy just didn't run off in time. So instead of risking a penalty, you just take the timeout. Great start for the Dragons, though. I mean, he's on both sides of the football. You talk about that 80-yard touchdown pass, and then defensively, like you said, it was all going backwards for TechBoston on their first offensive series.
Now on first down from the 18-yard line, and Cedric Johnson in the backfield. He's going to get the pitch. And Johnson trying to escape a couple tacklers. And he's brought down at the 16. So just a 2-yard pickup there on first down. You mentioned the good start for Latin Academy last week against Boston Latin School. Latin Academy had a slow start.
That's right. They were down 14,
points.
which was 12-0, right? Yeah, it was 12-0 before they got themselves into the game. Good pursuit that time. It's good to see some gang tackling on the TechBoston side too, because they're they're stunned with the way that game started with that long pass. Actually, then they fell asleep on the kickoff. Luckily, the penalty gave them the ball back, but they couldn't do anything offensively. So they just doesn't seem like they're sort of have their heads in the game yet.
Second down and 9 now for the Dragons from the 17-yard line. It's Maffeo rolling right, looking down the right side of the end zone for Wynn, and it falls incomplete.
Some good late pressure with the pass rush for TechBoston. Good job by Joshua Sammy. They're trying to go down to Wynn. And on a corner pattern in the end zone. Watch number 60. You'll see good effort. He's going to chase Maffeo down. That made him throw a little quicker than he wanted to and ended up being out of bounds.
After the incompletion, third down and 9 now for the Dragons at the Dorchester 17-yard line. Maffeo now going to take it himself. Zach's brought down at the 13. So just a 4-yard pickup, so it'll be 4th and 5 now for Latin Academy.
Chid Aqualogo, the big lineman, number 90. Watch him as he chases down Maffeo.
TechBoston nicknames him Chucky for short.
Okay, I was just going to call him Chid.
I think that's why they do it as well. So 4th down, Latin Academy going for it from the 13-yard line. Maffeo, back shoulder throw to Wynn. Make that to Holmes, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Actually, the coverage forced Maffeo to throw it to the back shoulder, like you mentioned, and that made a really tough catch. So watch the defender. He'll like to step in front to make the throw have to go over his head. Couldn't quite pull it in.
Yeah, Anthony Griffith there on the coverage for TechBoston. So a good defensive stand for the Bears as they sort of can now kind of settle down.
I was going to say, they got to feel a little bitter about that. I mean, these first few minutes have been disastrous, but they're only down 6-0. And Gonzalez is the type of player at quarterback. He's going to get something going.
Once again, a man in motion. It's Gonzalez now on the keeper up the middle. And he fights for yardage up to the 17, so a 4-yard pickup here on first down.
Seems that the Dragons defensively have scouted TechBoston pretty well because they know that man in motion is coming. Just a matter of whether the handoff takes place or Gonzalez keeps it. You see the power he has. And Gonzalez really good size and strength for a quarterback. Like you say, he had 2 touchdowns last week.
That's right.
He's capable. Like many teams, they stay in that shotgun.
Grin, the lone back in the backfield. Gonzalez down the right side, looking for his receiver. And it was
that's going to be a flag.
That's going to be pass interference on Latin Academy.
He zipped that out there like it was like a flick of the wrist pad. I'm telling you, he was back here. That's the 15-yard line. The ball went up to midfield, and like nothing, just right up. Good spin on it.
Looking for Jollicoeur out on the right sideline.
We're going pass interference. Yep. pass interference, defense, number 5. 15 yards.
Referee tonight, Earl Garrett, longtime official in the Boston Public Schools, actually played some professional football himself. He was with the Minnesota Vikings. Well, he didn't want to tell. He doesn't want me to tell the year, but it was a while ago.
Right.
Yeah, and he graduated from Boston State, which was the old name for UMass Boston.
Now on first down, Gonzalez gets the handoff as he lines up in the backfield.
They like to move him around. We mentioned that in the open. They move him around sometimes to a running back spot, but normally he's going to stay in the quarterback position most of the game. That time, Dragons not fooled at all.
Sean Gomes, the one who was lined up at quarterback there on first down. So a 2-yard loss for Gonzalez, 2nd down and 12 now for Tech Boston.
Sometimes they pitch the ball out of when he's in the backfield, Gonzalez, and let him throw it on an option.
Just had a good shot of Raul Brown, the head coach for the Bears.
Now try Gomes again, the quarterback.
The handoff to Gonzalez this time, and he powers forward up to the 32-yard line, make that the 33.
Seemed like that's the first time we saw any kind of push from the offensive line. That right side did give Gonzalez a little bit of a crease to get ahead of steam at least. As he was able to. Well, he got about a 5-yard gain. But 3rd and long again for the Bears.
3rd down and about 9. We'll even call it a long 8 for Tech Boston. We'll see if they go to the air again with Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, he's gonna go back to quarterback on this play.
Derek Green, the deep back in the backfield for the Bears. Fake it to Green. Gonzalez again looking to the air. Now he's going to tuck it in and run. Gonzalez not going to get to the first down marker as he's dragged down close to the 40.
There's his ability to make something out of nothing. As downfield, his receivers recovered, got some late pressure, so he was able to tuck it in, pull the ball down, and like I said, make something out of nothing.
4th and 2.
So from their own 40, we have Tech Boston setting up for a punt.
Ivan Grand again back to kick for the Bears, and now Tech Boston needs a timeout to talk about things. 2:34 left to go here in the first quarter. And just offensively, nothing really getting going here for Tech Boston. Their most productive play was that pass interference call.
Most definitely. that and the fumble and the penalty on the kickoff. And that's tough. But I think that I think we both sort of noticed that for some reason the Dragons came out far more ready from the opening kickoff to get themselves into the game. And of course, it doesn't hurt to have an 80-yard splash on your second play.
That gives you a little pep in your step.
Right.
To
So
start off the game.
But like I said, the 2 plays ago we saw. Because the play was right in front of us, you could see a little bit of a surge out from the offensive line from Tech Boston. That's a good sign for them because their first series, they're just getting pushed off the spot, and all 3 plays all went backwards.
Yeah, Latin Academy Dragons known for that big and experienced offensive line, usually coached up pretty well. Tech Boston currently with just 5 yards of total offense after the first 2 possessions. So tough sledding right now for the Bears.
Yeah, too many negative plays on when they try to run.
Ryan Wynn again back to receive. He had a 33-yard punt return earlier in the quarter. This one an end-over-end low kick as Wynn fields it right around the 24. Wynn again in open space, and Ryan Wynn cuts it back up the middle. Wynn's going to take it the distance. Ryan Wynn. Punt return for a touchdown.
You got a penalty, though.
And that one is going to be coming back.
That's going to come back, yeah.
We're going back.
But it's still fun to watch.
I think we got to block
Wynn is pretty amazing. He loves this field. It's going to be a block on the back. Yeah.
Black. Holding. Black 44. Spot foul.
Robert Merrick called for the holding penalty.
I'll tell you, that sophomore does not. That's where you. It's early in the play too, and of course, and we see it many times. The ball carrier was already past that spot, so he didn't even need the help of that block or attempted block. Well, you know, the TechBoston sideline, those coaches at this point, they know, listen, we can't stay in this game expecting to get breaks like this. I mean,
sure.
it's
not going to continue.
It's not. It's just not. So you got to play some defense here to take advantage of the fact that you're not down 12-0.
Yeah, the Bears defense was able to put together a good stand after Latin Academy's good punt return on their last possession. Now on first down, the handoff to Smith, and they gobble up Pat Smith in the backfield.
That's the kind of play. That's the kind of emotional play that you've got to have after you've been given a break. And there's no other way to describe it. So TechBoston's just sort of tighten up the chin straps and get themselves playing. There you go. You have, it's good to see Gonzalez in there, and he talks about Shitty again, number 90.
Yeah, Okwulogu again in on the stop. So the big fella and Gonzalez teaming up for that stop. As you see Rocco Ziza in his 11th season as the head coach at Latin Academy.
Let's not forget now that kickoff that they recovered at Latin Academy, that was like inside the 30-yard line of TechBoston.
Ryan Wynn in motion, and now it's Maffeo.
Oh, good job.
He's going to be bottled up in the backfield, and
I think he's that.
I think he's out of
the box. Yeah,
I think he's out of the pocket, so that won't be grounding.
I like this effort by the defense for TechBoston. They're starting to show something now. You see, watch the pressure coming from the right. Yeah, he was definitely outside the tackle box.
Sammy and Okwulogu again in on the stop. So now it's 3rd and 18 for Latin Academy. They flip it over the left side to Holmes. Holmes slips 2 tackles. Holmes now in open space. Osaya to Holmes up to the 40-yard line. It's going to be a first down for Latin Academy.
Excellent effort. Yards after the catch. 2 cuts to get away from would-be tacklers. Watch this. See, right now he's nowhere near the first down. 1 cut there to run through the arm tackle. 2nd one. There's a 3rd one right there. And now he's close to the first down and finishes off that last dive. Huge 3rd down play for the Dragons.
And 22-yard pickup there for Osaya to Holmes. As we got about 40 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Maffeo now with the keeper, and he picks up 5 there on first down.
I think Maffeo noticed the gap in the front line of TechBoston. Took advantage of it by getting a quick 5 yards. I think that's going to end the first quarter.
See if the Dragons get it off in time as the clock winds down. And they will not. So that's going to do it for the first quarter here at White Stadium. Latin Academy on top 6-0 thanks to this 80-yard touchdown connection from Zach Maffeo to the playmaker, Ryan Wynn. We're going to head to break, folks, when we come back for the second quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words. Don't go away.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain for Game of the Week. We got TechBoston taking on Latin Academy for the Mason Cup. Right now, Latin Academy Dragons on top 6-0 over the TechBoston Bears. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff that we'll be covering on this season will be up on our Facebook page. You also can see some videos, pictures, and so forth. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. If you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Just about set to start the second quarter with Latin Academy with the football at their own 46-yard line. 2nd down and 5 for the Dragons.
Maffeo again, I'll tell you.
Picked up just 2, I think, at that time.
It must be something they're seeing in the formation of the defense for TechBoston. It's unusual to see a quarterback with 2 keepers back-to-back. That time, the Bears were a little more ready for it.
So just a 1-yard pickup on that play. Is Latin Academy now with 112 yards of offense so far here in this one, early in the second quarter. TechBoston with just 5 yards of offense. We'll see if that changes here in the second quarter. 3rd and 4 now for Latin Academy. Maffeo over the middle. He's got to Holmes. That's Ryan Wynn, rather.
Wynn.
Wynn past the 40, dropped the football.
Lost the football.
Ryan Wynn lost the football. Latin Academy recovered, and Ryan Wynn is down.
He took a tough hit. I think he was actually going down. His body was twisted when he took a second hit. You watch him as he catches the ball over the middle, gets the first down, but now he's going to get hit. You see how he spun, and he got spun as he was trying to go straight down. His teammates were able to recover the football.
I thought initially it might have been his knee just because of the way that he got rolled up on, but it looks like he's grabbing maybe his ribs or somewhere around the torso area.
Let's hope.
Let's
hope he just had the wind knocked out of him. We'll see it again on replay, and he just got twisted around. Really awkward way to get hit with it. So after the after the fumble, big gain, 25-yard gain for the Dragons, and
the trainer seems to be feeling right around his rib area, which is actually sounds weird, but it's kind of a decent sign. I thought that could be a
he did. You're right. He was. It was like he was already down, but then did take a hit.
He's grabbing his ribs. It's got to be some type of rib injury.
No, you're right, Pat. Yeah, he's grabbing that right side of his ribs.
That could be one of those injuries too, where it hurts like
heck now.
And then right around
next
halftime,
thing you know, he's tapping the coach.
Yeah,
hey,
coach, I'm good.
Remember me? So coming in, let me see, replacement.
Yeah, Rafael Cruz, the junior.
Yeah, Rafael played some time last week too.
So now on 1st and 10 for Latin Academy at the Dorchester 34, or the TechBoston 34, and Cedric Johnson's dropped in the backfield. Okologu saying he picked up the football, but I think Johnson was down.
He may have been already down, but he did get the ball pretty quickly. Let's see. He was down. He was already down. Well, he stole the ball while he was still on top of the defender.
Yeah, it was tough to see if Johnson's knee was down or not. So Okologu might have had a case to be made there.
Really alert play.
He's had a nice first half so far defensively. He's been a disruptive force in the middle.
TechBoston that time came in a blitz, and they were able to get a 3-yard loss.
2nd down and 13 now for Latin Academy. Hand it off again to Johnson, and they're keying on Cedric Johnson.
They came across again. That time was Gilks. No, I'm sorry. That's Joshua. Called his name a few times.
So they marked the Dragons down at the 40-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 16, another 3-yard loss for the Dragons. TechBoston, you see that emotion coming out of the defense right now. It's definitely. Like an angry.
And they know that Wynn's not in there, the 3rd down receiver for the Dragons.
Now it's Johnson and Pat Smith in the backfield. Maffeo over the middle. Receiver wasn't looking. It was Johnson running sort of a drag route. But
yeah, Cedric. I think Cedric had his eye on the 1st down marker, so he was trying to get deeper downfield, whereas Maffeo was trying to throw it as soon as he popped open. See, Johnson nowhere near the 1st down. He's still looking downfield for the 1st down marker. So good, like you said, after that play with Wynn, very good defensive stand for the Bears.
Now Latin Academy back to punt from the TechBoston 40-yard line. Jalacour back to receive for the Bears. Suazu with a spiraling kick down to about the 9-yard line, and here comes Jalacour on the return. Tries to juke a couple of Dragons, and he's corralled right around the 19. They mark him down at the 20. So about an 11-yard return there for Jalacour.
As you like you said, tried to hit that left sideline. Start and stop, gets away from one defender, but after he gets tripped up, taken out of bounds. But the key is that the TechBoston Bears were able to get that stop after he had Wynn go out with that injury for Latin Academy. And even though, like you mentioned, the really lopsided stats for that first quarter on offense, doesn't matter. It's only a 6-0 game. And that's on a big play. And TechBoston also has the ability for big plays. There's some confusion there. They got to take a timeout because they're trying to figure out who's supposed to be out there. Seen TechBoston try a couple of trick plays early. They put Gonzalez at running back a few plays. They have that patented running back in motion with the handoff and then the fake handoff, but that's the guy right there. Gonzalez is the one who his teammates, I know, are looking for him to make a big play, either through the air or with his legs. Got single coverage on these wide receivers.
Spread formation for TechBoston from their own 20-yard line. It's Gonzalez off the option up to the 22, so just a 2-yard pickup on 1st down for TechBoston.
Well, he's the type of player that he'll keep coming at you, and then one time he'll break through, get into the secondary. We always talk about senior leadership, and this is a perfect case of it, where the team coming in 0-2 with 2 really tough losses, trying to turn things around today.
Now on 2nd down, it's Gonzalez again, this time finding a small crease up to the 27-yard line.
He actually runs more like a running back. When you look at his style of running, seems like he's very comfortable. That time, timing was a little bit off, but still able to get a head of steam. Makeable 3rd down, 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, Gonzalez last year playing mostly receiver and defensive back. This year the quarterback and playing linebacker defensively. So
he must have put on some muscle because he's, like you said, the linebacker, and we've seen him in a number of plays already. Oh,
we got
time. Yeah, there.
Early motion there for TechBoston.
And the bad thing about it, they purposely changed the count because they're trying to get the Dragons offside.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 5 yards, still 3rd down.
That's where, when you make that change to try to draw a defense, you got to sort of tell all your linemen twice. They've been going pretty much on the quick count. And they did get some movement from the Dragons, but nobody came all the way across.
So a 5-yard penalty backs Tech Boston up. 3rd down and 8 now for the Bears. And it's Gonzalez this time back to throw. He's going to throw it out to Green, and Kadir just couldn't hang on to it. Pass was a little high.
Overthrew him. Yeah, he had the screen pass. First time they've actually tried the screen, but
this was pretty open too.
Yeah, he had one blocker in front of him, had a chance for some open field. Yeah, penalty was a killer because on a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, you could have actually had Gonzalez just try another run.
So again, it's Grand back to kick for Tech Boston.
Again, they have so many players. Well, the wrong players out there. Take another timeout. They actually may have gotten a penalty anyway.
30-second
timeout. They may be preventing a penalty.
30-second
yeah, if you break the huddle with 12 players, that would be a penalty, and looks like that's what happened there.
I mean, really strange game for the TechBoston Bears. I mean, in the first quarter, they couldn't get anything going offensively. Second quarter, got a couple of breaks as a touchdown for the Dragons was called back on the punt return. And the defense has started picking it up for the Bears, but the offense is still hurting themselves. Like I said, that penalty on that 3rd down play was really bad.
Grand this time with a short end-over-end punt that takes a Latin Academy bounce. And now the Bears are going to have to down it at the 34-yard line. Just a net of about 11 yards.
I tell you, the defense is going to really have to come up again because he actually had the first 2 punts were pretty good. That one, for some reason, off the side of his foot.
So they mark him down at the 35, so Latin Academy will get another great opportunity here. Deep inside Tech Boston territory. Maffeo hands off to Smith, and once again, nowhere to go for Pat Smith.
That's one thing Tech Boston's done much better in the second quarter. They've closed down that middle. Low snap, good handoff to Smith, but by the time he really tried to go somewhere, getting met defensively.
Ryan Wynn back in the ball game for Latin Academy.
It's good news for the Dragons.
As he's split out.
He'll go to his slot position. Got 5 receivers spread out.
Maffeo now in 2nd and 11 over the middle, and he's got Cedric Johnson. Johnson off a nice cut, and he's dragged down at the 21.
That time they were able to hook up. The last time they tried Johnson on that slant, he went too far, didn't look back for the ball. This time they were on the same page. Johnson's ready for it, pulls it in. Good job because he was defended well. Ball was actually popped in the air. He was able to pull it in. Then you got a jersey tackle by defenders Gilks.
Luke Maffeo now 4 for 8 through the air, 140 yards passing for the Dragon quarterback. Over the left side, Pat Smith was wide open.
Oh yeah, see that when they have that spread formation, they'll put Smith and Wynn opposite sides in the slots, and so the defenders play a few steps off. That's the one to Johnson. He was able to pull it in after it bounced in the air.
The 2nd down and 10 from the 22 after the incomplete pass from Latin Academy. It's got to be frustrating for Tech Boston, who scored 34 points in week 1 in a shootout against Georgetown. And then they had just 12 points last week against the English New Mission Co-op. But, their offense was moving the football.
That one is overtime, too. That's the thing. So it's you're right. It's just been a bizarre start to the season for them. And it's one of those things where coaches, they scratch your head because you just have so many strange things happen.
False start penalty, or delay of game penalty, rather, on Latin Academy. That backs them up to the 27-yard line.
There's some confusion on their lineup also, guys coming in and out.
2nd down and 15 now for the Dragons.
There's one in motion.
Maffeo facing some pressure, and he just gets rid of it. He had a receiver in the area.
Again, good pressure that time coming off the defensive line. Get tricky again. And also he had a teammate coming on the blitz. Maffeo was actually lucky to have a receiver in the area, eligible receiver. You have to like the way that in the second quarter, the Bears, at least defensively, are definitely in the game.
Yeah, their front seven, and their secondary is covered well for TechBoston. So now 3rd down and 15 for Latin Academy. Maffeo looking deep down the middle, and the ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, Wynn wasn't going to run into that one. That was thrown all the way out of bounds.
That one hit the goalpost, I believe. So Maffeo a little too strong on that pass. And now Latin Academy.
Well, it's not worth punting. You just go for it on 4th down. Give Maffeo a chance to air it out again. You're talking about the 27-yard line. A punt more than likely is going to end up in the end zone. So,
yeah, punters in high school.
You have like a 7-yard net. Just let them throw it again.
They're at the 27-yard line. So, Latin Academy does have the wind at their back. Now on 4th and 15, it's Maffeo again down the left side.
Wow.
And that one again falls incomplete. Outside to Holmes was the intended receiver that time.
Yeah, I think Maffeo misjudged the wind because he put that up in the air and the ball ended up bouncing out of bounds.
So a turnover on downs to the TechBoston Bears. They'll regain possession at their own 27-yard line with just under 4 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. We'll see if TechBoston can get anything going here.
Just think about it. If they can get into the end zone, tie this game before halftime, again, that would be a strange turn of events because they've been totally outplayed.
Yeah, first down.
I shouldn't say that. First quarter, they were totally outplayed. Second quarter, the defensive half of their team started playing well. Offense is still just stumbling and bumbling around. They're going back to having Gonzalez as the tailback.
Going back in the backfield, it's Gonzalez on 1st down, makes a nice cut up to the 45-yard line. The best play of the game so far for TechBoston.
You have to say by far. And he was the deep back in the eye. I'm telling you, to me, he's more of a running back. Nice little slide step there. Gets a block upfield.
You talk about the Bears
He
getting
really
push up front.
I tell you, he really finished that play well.
They're going to continue with this lineup as Sean Gomes again in at quarterback, Gonzalez the deep back. Hand off to Gonzalez again. Solid run up to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, Gomes is only there to hand off because Gonzalez, he's trying to get it going. He got the adrenaline going, and part of it's because he plays both ways, obviously, and so he's part of that defense that's helped to turn this game a little bit toward the TechBoston Bears.
So 4-yard pickup on 1st down for Gonzalez. 2nd down and 6 now for TechBoston. Coming up on 3 minutes left to go for halftime. And Gonzalez again on the carry up to the 48-yard line of Latin Academy.
So he's one of those players who did his entire workout during the offseason because he's being worn, he's being used like a workhorse, and he's popping up after every play wanting more.
Now on 3rd and 3, it's Gonzalez again.
First down.
And he powers up to the 44-yard line.
Talk about a player putting his team on his back. What's that, 4 straight carries? And remember, he's the deep back in the eye, which means he's like 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's not like it's an easy handoff. He has to get the ball. He's still 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Then decides where he's going to cut. But like you said, and it's noticeable now. You get a little bit of a push from that front line, giving Gonzalez a chance with some space. A penalty. You get
delay game on White, 5 yards, still first down.
Delay game on TechBoston. But a couple delay game penalties.
Yeah, one of these
first
teams,
half.
I tell you, it's one of those things where we've seen a bunch of some confusion in terms of some players coming in and out, and that delays when the play is actually set up for a snap. So 1st and 15 now.
Now on 1st down, it's Gonzalez again with a nice run up the gut.
Almost got it all on that play. Got about 13 yards.
Gonzalez on the carry.
Situation when you talk about knowing your players. And here's Gonzalez at that time. Good hole. Very good hole. Wynn had to come up from the safety spot and gets dragged for about 4 yards. 2nd and 3?
Yes. 12-yard pickup there for Gonzalez. So 2nd down and 3 now for TechBoston with Grand in motion. The handoff to Gonzalez again. This time tries to bounce it to the outside. And he's tripped up right around the 37. So just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd down.
I tell you, him getting all these consecutive carries, it makes me wonder. Did he go to the coach and say, "Coach, put me in the running back"?
Yeah, let me get
just
a head
get
start
something
now.
started. Yeah, get something going. They've got to use their timeouts though.
Gonzalez fighting forward for the 1st down. I believe he got it, and then TechBoston calls a timeout.
I mean, he's going to need a little bit of a breather. I mean, watch how, again, he finishes his runs well. Gets hit, and then leans forward to get that 1st down.
I think they're about a half-yard short.
Oh, he is short. Okay. I thought he had actually.
I thought he had gotten there,
Yeah,
but I think his knee might have been down just short of the 35-yard line.
Oh, this timeout. They had to call timeout because the clock's running out. It's 27 seconds. But more importantly, it's going to give Gonzalez a break, give him a chance to get a little water and also catch his breath because he's had every carry on this drive.
Well, even if TechBoston doesn't score on this possession, they got to feel a little bit better about their offense.
This is by far their best drive. You got to wonder if Gomes has any kind of arm, because right now the Dragons would be vulnerable to a fake to Gonzalez and then a little pop pass over the middle. Especially with only 27 seconds left in the half. Now, TechBoston still has a timeout left. If they do decide to try another run or a screen pass, I mean, they're not going to get it all up the middle. So either a screen pass or something trying to go wide, because they're going to keep Gonzalez in the backfield as a running back. Like I mentioned earlier, he has the ability to take a pitch and have that pass run option.
4th down and 1 now for the Bears. Just under 28 seconds left here in the 2nd quarter. Once again, it's Gonzalez the deep
down
back.
for us, yeah.
Now it's Gomes rolling to his left. Got nowhere to go with it, and he's dragged down at the 38.
Well, I mentioned trying to fake something to Gonzalez, but so roll out. This is actually an option play. You got to throw it though. On 4th down, you got to throw it. Well, I think you're right. They make a good point about their offense. I mean, at least they have something to build on. Coaches can go into halftime and say, listen, guys, I don't know what the first quarter was all about, but second quarter we played both sides of the football. That one 80-yard touchdown pass is the difference in the game.
That's right.
Even though the Dragons in black have really outplayed TechBoston for most of the game.
So the Dragons kneel on it.
They're going to burn it
I
out.
think that's just going to do it.
They both want to go chalk it over.
That's right. Both teams a little frustrated probably offensively here in the first half, despite that 80-yard touchdown pass from Maffeo to Ryan Wynn, and that'll do it here for the first half of play at White Stadium as Latin Academy on top of TechBoston 6-0 as both teams headed to the locker room. And like you mentioned, Dallin, TechBoston breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief. Their defense played very well in that first half.
Second
we'll
quarter,
see if they can get going offensively.
They didn't start playing until second quarter.
Right.
Defense or offense, but now they're in the game definitely. And the point you made in the open, first game of conference play, important, very emotional. Two teams know each other pretty well, and like you said, not that far apart in terms of neighborhood. And right now, I think the TechBoston coaches, let's tell the guys, listen, forget the first quarter. I'm not even going to dwell on that. A lot of mistakes made, just not the full effort. Second quarter, totally different. We flipped the coin. Other side, we saw defense come up first. Then the Gonzalez show in the running back, once he went back to the tailback spot. So they have something they can build on. For Latin Academy, it's got to be frustrating for Rocco because as a head coach, everything he put out there pretty much worked. Right? Hurt themselves. Bad penalties. And, you talk about bringing back an 80-yard punt return for a touchdown on a penalty, on a play you didn't even need. All right? You had the pooch kick after you score first. You recover it. Another penalty brings it back, gives the ball back to TechBoston. It could be an 18-0 game right now. It literally could be an 18-0 game right now instead of 6.
Yeah, so TechBoston probably feeling good that it's just 6-0. Latin Academy probably saying to themselves they could have had a few more points there in the first half. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the halftime stats here from the TechBoston Latin Academy Mason Cup rivalry here at White Stadium right after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ?
Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew.
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew.
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Here it is. There's a shot to even it out.
Welcome back to White Stadium in Jamaica Plain at halftime of Game of the Week. Latin Academy on top of Tech Boston, 6-0. And we saw both teams sort of struggle offensively after that Latin Academy long touchdown. Both defenses really stepped up and made some plays in the first half.
Most definitely. And I think that for Tech Boston, they're only down 6-0 because of their defense. Because that second quarter, defense for the Bears really started to take control of the game. That was the key for them. So they have a lot to build on for the second half. And they remember on the coin flip, they deferred. So they'll get the ball first here in the third quarter.
That's right. So we'll see if Tech Boston can get things rolling at that point. Let's take a look at the halftime stats here at White Stadium. And first up, it's going to be the Tech Boston.
Not a whole lot for Tech Boston. Until that last drive, Gonzalez ended up with 62 yards on 15 carries. What do you have, like 8 in a row on that last drive they had? Henderson, then everybody else was minus pretty much. No receiving yardage. Only one pass tried by Gonzalez, and that was incomplete.
Let's take a look at the Latin Academy stats.
Yeah, different story. Maffeo actually had 4 carries from the quarterback spot for 11 yards. Smith, again, that minus yards there was in the second quarter because that's where the Tech Boston Bears really started playing some defensive football. Wynn, an amazing first half, receiving 2 catches, 105 yards. Of course, that big 80-yard touchdown to start the game. The Holmes had a nice 22-yarder for a first down. Maffeo, 4 for 12, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. Let's not forget now, there was also a punt return of 80 yards by Wynn that was called back, unfortunately, because of a penalty. I'll tell you, that would have been, the first time in history that a player could have won the Outstanding Player Award from the first half, right?
That's right, for the first quarter.
if he had those 2 plays together. But that's how it goes. And, some penalties for Latin Academy most definitely helped Tech Boston stay in the game before their defense really started picking it up.
Well, you mentioned Ryan Wynn. Let's take a look at some of the halftime highlights from number 15
he's fun
from
to
Latin
watch.
Academy.
He is fun to watch. Over the shoulder, one of the toughest catches you can have. Made it and still in stride. And there goes the straight out speed to get him all the way. I guess it was officially like 80 yards for that one. This is the punt return. Now, see, the block in the back is behind him where they didn't even need it.
33-yarder.
I'm sorry, this is the 33-yard. Okay, this is the first one that was good. Now, this here, again, this is the first down play. This is where he gets twisted around, hit, fumbled the football, and got knocked out of the game for about 2 series of plays. But luckily for them and for everybody, he was able to come back. Right. It seemed like he's back at full strength. It appeared he had some pain in his ribs, like you noticed him holding the left side of his ribs. But a lot of times when you get the wind knocked out of you, it's a similar type of a feeling, but glad he's back.
No question. Certainly a guy we like to watch here, and certainly Latin Academy wants him back. You can see their offense change a little bit when he went out.
He went out. They had 3 consecutive plays for losses, and they had to punt. So, anytime you have a play, there he is right there, welcoming his teammates back out for the second half, letting them all know I'm okay. So just do your part, I'll do my part.
That's right. Meanwhile, for Tech Boston, as we mentioned, going into halftime, Gonzalez, once he lined up and running back, then they got it going. You got to think they're going to continue with that formation.
Definitely. But it's funny. I was looking at the notes, and their head coach thinks that he might be the best all-around player in the city, even though they know they don't have a really complete team because they lost so many seniors from last year. But in terms of an athlete, a leader, and the type of versatility he has, Gonzalez very well may be up there in the top handful of players for this year.
We're just about set to start the third quarter here at White Stadium.
Yeah, I think it was like at least 8 straight plays. The last on that drive. Unfortunately, the fourth down play was they tried a little trickery that Latin Academy was ready for. They stopped that play, and so the half ended with still a 6-0 score.
Latin Academy kicking off to start the third quarter, and Tech Boston going to field it right around the 19-yard line. And another return here from Jalacour, who slips a couple of tackles. Stephen Jalacour up to the 27-yard line.
Hey, good job making something out of nothing. I mean, he was struggling to pick the ball up down at the 20. And like you said, broke 2 tackles to tack on an 8-yard return. So it may come down to how much endurance does Gonzalez have on offense for the TechBoston Bears, because again, like you say, he plays linebacker on defense too.
So now on first down from their own 27-yard line. It is Gomes at quarterback, Gonzalez the deep back in the backfield. They give it to him on first down, and Gonzalez has nowhere to go with it. No gain on the play.
Yeah, we know that the defensive or the halftime talk was mostly to the Latin Academy defense saying, listen, number 3 is going to continue to get the football. We've got to get to him in bunches. So gang tackling is what it's going to take. It shouldn't take too long for us to see some type of a wide play to Gonzalez, either a pitch or a rollout or something.
Now on second down, it's Gonzalez again with the carry, and this time he makes his way up to the 30-yard line, make that the 31. So about a 4-yard gain there on second down.
Well, you had mentioned earlier, Pat, he changed positions basically on both offense and defense from last season. So I think as a senior, he definitely seems more comfortable as a running back. But because he's so good, he's the starting quarterback also.
Third down and 6. Now for the Bears, a handoff to Gonzalez again. And he is unable to find a crease. They mark him down right around the 33. So that'll be about 4 yards short of the first down.
Again, see, they're all up the middle plays. I think from the offensive standpoint for TechBoston, there's no problem with him getting the ball every play, but you got to vary how you get the ball to him. Give him a chance to get some open space.
Robert Merrick on the stop. He now has 7 tackles for Latin Academy. We get another penalty.
Illegal substitution on White, 5 yards, still 4th down.
Another illegal substitution for the Bears. That'll back them up 5. They'll now be punting from the 28-yard line. Wind at the back of Grand, who's about to kick for the Bears. Wynn again back to receive, spiraling kick that takes a TechBoston bounce, then out of bounds at the Latin Academy 38-yard line.
Nice punt, mainly because he forced no return by getting to the sideline.
35-yard punt that time from Ivan Grand. So Latin Academy now back in their own territory at the 37 for their first possession of the second half. We'll see what they try to do here.
Tell you, talk about bizarre starts this season. You mentioned that first game of the year for TechBoston, they lost it 35-34. They rang up 34 points in the game. They were up by 20, 34-14.
Yeah, they blew a 20-point lead.
Ended up losing the game.
Now on first down for Latin Academy, the handoff to Patrick Smith. His most productive carry of the evening so far.
He's been pretty quiet, you're right. He's been pretty quiet. Now against Latin School last week, he had a very, slow first half, less than 10 yards in the first half, but then he really broke free offensively and ended up with being the outstanding player of the game.
6-yard pickup there on first down for Patrick Smith, so it'll be second down and 4 now for the Dragons. We'll see if he gets going in the second half. They certainly have had a tough time running the football. They give it to Smith again. Another nice cut by Smith.
Same play.
And he fights up to about the 48-yard line.
Now I think they've made an adjustment in terms of the blocking, because both those plays went to the right side, and he had good holes both times. So you had the interior lineman closing down the middle, and then giving Smith a chance to cut back.
Now on first down, it's a botched snap, so Maffeo just plows forward and picks up about 3 on the play. They mark him down at the 48-yard line of TechBoston.
Yeah, they're lucky to corral that one. Then had the presence of mind to push forward, get a decent gain.
So 4-yard pickup there on first down. 2nd down and 6 now for Latin Academy. Just under 7 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Handoff to Smith again. And Pat Smith with not a lot of room that time. So he's dropped at the 47, so just a 1-yard pickup for the Dragons.
Shitty again on the initial hit before his teammates actually wrapped up Smith for the loss. For the actually, no, it was a 1 yard maybe, or 3rd and 5.
Dragons looking to continue this drive. Now on 3rd down, Wynn at the face of Luke Maffeo over the middle. Nice catch by Johnson.
Yeah.
Who makes his way up to the 29-yard line.
Also got a flag on the play. Then a flag was thrown behind.
They might have had a chop
the line of scrimmage. Let's see what.
We have a personal foul. Chop block.
Got it, Pat. Yeah.
On the offense.
Massive penalty there for Latin Academy. Wipes out a 1st down and backs him up 15 yards. Tough to see it at the line of scrimmage there. I did see one of the offensive linemen down on the ground. But he was probably the one that was going low.
Yeah. It's good. That's more of a safety measure. All levels of football is taking that out. Where you have a double team block, one offensive lineman. It used to be a staple play going at your best defensive lineman. One guy hits him high, the other one hits him low, but they've taken that out because of so many injuries.
3rd and 15 now for Latin Academy.
Chance for TechBoston to defensively get a stop and get the ball back to their offense.
Dragons push back all the way to their own 42-yard line. Another low snap for the Dragons, and Maffeo's just got to pounce on it at the 32.
Talk about disastrous 2 plays. You get the 1st down to Johnson, apparent 1st down, have that call back, and then when you're trying for an obvious pass play, you end up losing, 8 more yards. A rolling snap, no chance at all. The field did a good job just to cover it, give his team a chance to punt.
So Dragons now going to punt the football from their own 33-yard line, and once again, the Dragons' mistakes helping out TechBoston. Jalacour back to receive for the Bears. And he feels it at the 42-yard line. Jalacour wrapped up right around midfield.
I don't know how he caught that because he came up late to get it. It bounced in front of him.
Yeah, it was an awkward field of the
I'm telling you, it looked like it was going to bounce off of him. Watch this. But it bounces. They
got a one hand.
Yeah, right off his shoulder pad. And tacked on a decent return.
He very nonchalantly just picked that out of the air off the bounce.
And one of the linemen for Latin Academy down.
Yeah, Kyle Zayas, a junior offensive lineman, now down for the Dragons. Looks like he's going to walk it off. So TechBoston now with good field position at midfield. Just a 26-yard punt from the Dragons, 8-yard return.
So let's see if this Gonzalez running back show continues.
You got to think they have to get somebody else involved.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
just so they don't have to key on Gonzalez the whole time.
Got to have some kind of variety, and obviously, fake the handoff to him and then try something different.
Kadir Green had a 63-yard touchdown run.
Oh yeah,
against Georgetown.
That first game, that's right.
Handoff to Gonzalez on 1st down, and he's got nowhere to go.
See, the tough thing that Gonzalez is going against right now, when you're the deep back in the eye, like I mentioned in the first half, you're so far behind the line of scrimmage, it makes it easier for the defenders to find where you're going, to figure out where you're going. By the time you get to the line of scrimmage.
Another injured player down on the
Is that
field.
Green? No,
that's number 45, Dyron Diaz.
He was the fullback, yeah.
Looks like he's holding his wrist.
It looks like he already had it taped up. Yeah, Gonzalez actually came out of the game. Looks like he had some kind of problem with his helmet.
He's been plowing into the line of scrimmage so
Yeah,
much
right.
that things probably beat up. So it's Green, the
tailback,
deep back in the backfield.
Kadir.
Pitch it to him to the outside. Kadir Green now cuts back up the middle. Nice little run here by Kadir Green up to the 42.
Now it's funny because it happened because Gonzalez had to come out to get his helmet fixed, but that's the little change of pace I'm talking about. Give a different look to that defense. That Kadir made a very nice cut to go upfield, and now they have a very manageable third down.
So Green with the first positive yardage play by someone on TechBoston
Right,
other than Gonzalez.
Right.
Puts them in position for a 3rd down and 2. It's Green again, the deep back in the backfield.
That same play.
The handoff to Green over the right side, and he is stopped right in his tracks.
Yeah, waiting for him.
As that's Carlos Pizarro in on the tackle.
Along with Patrick Smith. See, when they made the pitch on that previous play, it was wide enough that they could engage Pizarro and to let Green get upfield. That time they tried to run through Pizarro. This will be a 4th and, with that loss, 4th and 4. Let's watch it again. See, on the pitch, he was able to find some room and cut upfield. But then the next play, that slant handoff just had no chance.
So 4th down and 3 now for TechBoston.
Got Gonzalez back in the backfield.
You got Grand in the slot for the Bears. They pitch it to Gonzalez, and he's dragged down in the backfield by Pat Smith. No gain on the play.
Again, when you're keying on a player, you take the chance to have your linebackers all follow him. And it also helps when you have the defensive lineman doing a good job against the blockers. So it's been defense ever since the end of that first quarter. It's been all defense on both sides of the football for both teams.
So Latin Academy takes over at their own 44, and looks like we got a timeout. I believe it was TechBoston who called the timeout.
Timeout, White.
Yeah, it was.
30
TechBoston
seconds.
Calls the timeout here with 2:28 left to go in the 3rd quarter. This quarter's flying by because each team's just pounding the football.
Yeah, but it's the whole
But staying in the middle of the field.
Exactly right. That can't go anywhere.
Now on 1st down, it's Smith trying to find the edge,
Oh,
but Gonzalez is there for the stop.
Talk about a linebacker. He actually committed inside, guessed inside mistakenly, but was quick enough to get back. I watched him. He's going to go inside first, then comes outside to make the tackle. Good recovery. He got off the block as Kalajian was trying to engage him. See Gonzalez out there giving the coverage signals on the spread formation.
The hand up to Smith again, and Pat Smith makes his way past midfield up to the 49 of Tech Boston.
Yeah, that time they got a block on Gonzalez to give Smith some room. Watch right at your screen, you'll see number 3 get pushed back. Got right there, and then the
Cedric Johnson, the lead blocker on that play. Third and 3 now for Latin Academy.
Yeah, they would love to just grind this out. Just use the running game. Try to get a second score to take real control of the game. And a little confusion again, so Rocco Ziza calls a timeout.
Timeout, block. 30.
1 minute to go left in the third quarter as Latin Academy calls the timeout. If you're a coach, I mean, it's week 3 now. It's not the first week. It's week 3. You got to start saying to the guys, listen, you guys got to have this down. I mean, there's been a lot of penalties tonight and a lot of timeouts that weren't called for
wasted.
Stopping the clock or anything.
There
it was because guys weren't lined up right. Third down and 3. They do the end around with Ryan Wynn, and it's wide open for him as Wynn makes his way up to the 42.
Well, play, that's one of their staples. And Wynn, there's the handoff. And the missed tackle in the backfield is had a chance to throw him for a loss. Walter Stockwell, the sophomore, was in position, just couldn't wrap up Wynn. Still 6-0 after. I mean, it's sort of hard to believe because the game starts, second play of the game, you get an 80-yard touchdown. You think we're in for a shootout.
Now on first down, the handoff to Johnson. Not the cleanest handoff in the world, but he makes his way up to the 38, so a 4-yard pickup. That could be the last play of the quarter.
Yeah, I like the way Johnson put 2 arms on that ball. Like you said, it wasn't it popped up, put the 2 arms on the ball, and just keep going forward. Yep, that is going to end the quarter. Actually, Cedric's going to come out. It looks like his right elbow is bothering him.
That'll do it for the third quarter here at White Stadium after 3. It's the Dragons still on top, 6-0. Ryan Wynn making the big plays again for Latin Academy. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter after these words.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to White Stadium. Beautiful night here in Jamaica playing. The moon clear as day as we get set for the fourth quarter. Almost a full moon there.
I'm going to say, it looks like, what, cottage cheese? Yeah. Bright moon.
Making me hungry out.
That's that autumn moon, right? Yeah.
As we get set for the fourth quarter next week on Game of the Week, we'll have the O'Brien Tigers taking on the East Boston Jets over at Sartori Stadium in East Boston. That game will be Friday, September 26th, or 28th rather, 6 o'clock over in East. You can watch that live on Boston City TV, Comcast Channel 24, RCN Channel 13, and Verizon Channel 1962. As we get set to start the fourth quarter here at White Stadium. Latin Academy with the ball at the TechBoston 38-yard line. Second down and 7 now for the Dragons. Low snap, the handoff to Smith, and somehow escapes the rush to the backfield.
That's another case. That second effort gained something because he was actually going to be thrown for a loss because of that bad handoff. So by the time he gets the ball, the defenders are already in there, but keeps the legs churning. Good job. Looks like Smith missed that play, but it looks like Cedric's trying to get back in the game now.
1 yard pickup for Pat Smith there on second down. So third down and 6.
Rocco's going to take a timeout to get Smith back in. See, Smith was on the sideline with the elbow issue. So, yeah, Cedric's trying to get back in now.
Yeah, so Cedric Johnson heading back into the game.
That makes Cedric feel good. I'll take a timeout just to get me back in the game.
Makes you feel important, right?
Exactly, right. Hey, maybe this play is called for him. Now, he's had that slant pass on 2 third downs already this game to get first downs. He's going to start out in the backfield.
Maffeo over the middle, off the hands of Pat Smith.
They love that pattern, though. It's a slant, usually right to left. Watch this defense as we get a little bit of pressure, but that was behind them, yeah. And Maffeo's usually done a better job of getting it, giving this receiver a better chance to catch it. That time they threw it behind Smith.
So 4th and 5 now for Latin Academy. I think they're going to punt it.
Yeah, I think that this time, I think they want to try to pin the Bears back because we've seen the struggles of the Bears offense other than that one series with Gonzalez to end the first half. But now I think Latin Academy's figuring it's going to be a defensive situation for the rest of this game.
Wynn off the fake punt. Ryan Wynn looking for the sideline. Still on his feet and gets up to the 35, but he's well short of the first down. You can see the TechBoston coaches.
They were saying, watch
on the
other
fake. Sideline.
They're yelling it. They're yelling so loud we can hear it over here.
That's right. And they moved up Jollicoeur. There you see the replay.
Yeah, see that bounce. If he got in a direct snap, he actually may have had a chance to make this, but that bounced snap made him delay just that split second, throw the whole timing off. So now we have Grin's actually calling the play. Well, Grin's going back. Grin is now the.
Grin's
he's a running back.
He's set back with Gonzalez in the backfield. Gonzalez now looking to throw, and now he's going to tuck it in and run. Marcus Gonzalez to the edge. And he's tripped up at the 42-yard line.
Well, that's one way to create a little bit of space for him is you call a pass play, but tell him, don't wait too long, just take off if you don't see anything downfield. Matter of fact, I think if he had taken off a little, just 1 second early, he probably would have had more space. But that's not. I mean, even that's the type of, you got to mix up a little bit. You can't just, that all the Dragons, their front 7, they're all looking at number 3. Where are you? Let's go get him. Forget the other guys. Take our chances. Just going to try to stop him. And even on a broken play like that, he's able to get about 6 yards.
So 6-yard pickup there for Gonzalez. Second down and 4. Now for TechBoston. And on second down, it's Gonzalez looking to the marker.
Good job. He sees where the marker is, and
they mark him down at the 46-yard line.
That time he had Grin as a lead blocker.
Make that the 47.
They'll give him the first down. In terms of throwing the ball downfield, I think Grand, the other senior, he would be the main target. He's in the slot.
Certainly got some height on him. And that might have been an illegal motion.
Illegal procedure, offense. Still first down.
Yeah, the receiver went in motion, then sort of went backwards. They'll back the Bears up 5.
Let's see if we can see what. Well, there he is in motion. Actually, I don't. Usually. Well, the wide receiver on the ends actually took off early.
So the receiver at the bottom of the screen took off
early.
Got her on the same play. Gonzalez looking for Green, and Gonzalez actually, I think, thought it was another procedure penalty, so he almost stopped running the play.
Yeah, but as he got chased down, he recognized Green just to dump the ball because that play was going nowhere. Yeah, you're right. He thought it was a penalty.
Either that or they were trying to get it to Laquan Gilks on the direct snap. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Yeah. But 2nd and 15. I mean, if nothing else, Gonzalez saved a big loss by being able to dump that ball at least close to an eligible receiver.
Again, it's Gilks in motion, and now it's Gonzalez looking for room, but he's gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, when you're keying on a guy, it doesn't matter how many blockers are in front of him. Your entire defense is running toward number 3.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to go to Kadir Green again. He showed a nice burst on that pitch.
He really did. That one.
Gonzalez had to come out.
They
did try that screen to him before too. You see, Coach Brown frustrated over on the sideline. As we have a timeout, let's take a look at the Boston North standings after 2 weeks. Of course, this was realigned just a couple of years ago. Right now, O'Brien 2-0, Brighton 2-0, Latin Academy, of course, 1-1. We saw them last week. TechBoston, East Boston, and West Roxbury still looking for their first win of the season.
Struggling early on. The O'Brien team is fun to watch also. They got a bunch of playmakers, and that was a nice win that they had. We saw them for the first game of the season.
We'll see them again next week, as we mentioned before, against East Boston. Third down and 15 now for TechBoston. Gonzalez looking to throw. And again, it's too high for Kadir Green, and the ball falls incomplete.
He did float it, but just over Green's head again. This is same thing happened, same result. Yeah. Well, he actually had, Pinero jumped in the air. Good job defensively to force him to throw it over the tall defensive end.
So now it's 4th and 15. And TechBoston will have to punt the football. The dangerous Ryan Wynn back to receive. Punts down at the 38-yard line. So just a 23-yard kick there for TechBoston, and Latin Academy will have good field position again here. About 7:48 left to go in the fourth quarter. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good links, pictures, videos, great stuff up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Last couple of drives for Latin Academy, they looked like they were trying to sustain that long
they just wanted to grind out. Drive. That's all they want to do.
You got to think that's what they want to do
definitely. We got Johnson in the backfield. This is Wynn with the
end around again. Ryan Wynn. And TechBoston's there. Just a short pickup of about 3 on the play.
See, similar to what we're seeing the Dragon defense keying on Gonzalez. I think at this point in the game, coaches are telling Tech Boston, we got to key on 15. He's the one who's going to get the ball either on a handoff or a pitch or a pass down the field. See that pursuit. They get like 5 Bears around Wynn.
Roscoe White in on the tackle. Second down and 7 now for Latin Academy. They're going to go to the air. Maffeo over the middle. Again, looking for Smith. That time, good coverage from Tech Boston.
Well, also, blitz came on to make Maffeo throw it long before he wanted to. Made that an errant pass. Yeah, both teams, these defensive coaches are sort of jockeying, and they're guessing. Like on that, whatever that formation was, it made the defense call the blitz with 2 linebackers right in Maffeo's face.
With Maffeo now struggling past the football, just 1 out of his last 7 through the air.
They're coming again.
On third down, floats it over the middle, picked off.
That comes out. Who's that?
Gonzalez with the interception.
They got interference call.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty on Tech Boston. As Ryan Wynn again shaken up after that play. We'll see what the penalty is.
I'll tell you, we talked about penalties on Latin Academy keeping Tech Boston in the game. Now
we have defensive holding on White, number 3. We go previous spot 10. Yep.
So holding on Marcus Gonzalez. Let's take a look at it again.
Now, did Gonzalez pick the ball off?
He's got a fistful of jersey right there.
He did. He did grab.
He didn't really need to do that either.
Because he was right in perfect
position. He had great coverage, jumped on the route.
Just over anxious. Just like we were saying, things are going to even out. I mean, that first half, when those penalties were keeping Tech Boston at just a 6-0 game, that's a chance. You talk about a turnover that would have given you the ball at midfield.
Now on first down from midfield, and Johnson's going to be dropped in the backfield.
Yeah. Again, another blitz. That time you had Gonzalez from the linebacker spot with the blitz, but his sophomore teammate that time. That was Stockwell again?
Yeah, Walter Stockwell.
Yeah, the sophomore. Good job. Nice wrap up. Got some help from Gonzalez.
Tech Boston defense has played well. I mean, their front 7 has really come across the line well against. Latin Academy usually has a good offensive line.
They really do. And we're seeing Tech Boston also use a lot of blitzes because they want to get that football back. You got 5.5 minutes to go.
Second down and 13 now for the Dragons.
A timeout by the Dragons is.
We got a flag.
Let's see if the flag came first. They tried to call it the timeout to prevent the penalty. I guess they gave it to him.
They must have broken the huddle with 12 players.
Well, okay, so the timeout was called to prevent the penalty.
Yeah, they're also getting Ryan Wynn back in
there. So it's smart play by the Latin Academy sideline, because that would have made it a 2nd and 17. Talk about penalties playing a key part in the game. You're talking about a 6-0 game, and we already talked about how Latin Academy had that pooch kick that they recovered deep in Bears territory, called back because of an offside penalty. All right, and now this situation here where Tech Boston needing the ball back, got an apparent interception from Gonzalez, but he gets called for a holding penalty before the catch.
So you got 2 turnovers wiped out because of penalties and a kick return for a touchdown.
Oh, yes, right. The punt return, yeah.
Punt return, rather.
Wow, it's a strange game.
3 massive game-changing plays. I mean, it's just been.
And it all might come down to one play because it's still it's a one-score game.
Second and 13 now for Latin Academy. Maffeo again going over the middle.
How did he miss that?
Too high for Cedric Johnson.
Grand was right there.
They certainly see something with that back out of the backfield.
Definitely. Well, when he goes up, he rolls up and goes up. But no, on this one, Grand plays it. I don't know if he just missed time. Yes, because it went right through his hand. Now, 3rd and long. The Bears have given up a few of these on that slant pass.
Trips to the top of your screen. Maffeo
on the
looking
air.
for Wynn, and it falls incomplete as that thing was up for grabs for a couple of seconds. Keon Henderson, the closest defender.
Roscoe White was there too, but he sort of stopped. Watch number 12. The ball. See, he's there, and he sort of stops. Maybe he thought Henderson was going to get it. So now a 4th down. They've
Dragons going to punt again, so Jolicoeur back to receive again. Wynn back to kick, gets a good snap this time, and it's end over end, and goes out of bounds at the 28. At the 29.
I'll tell you, the way this is going, Pat, this might be the last offensive series for Tech Boston. So they've got to, and especially the fact they haven't thrown the ball downfield, they've been trying to grind. 5 minutes is plenty of time to grind out a long touchdown drive. But they've got to sustain something. They've got to be consistent. There's the guy, number 3, obviously. He's going to touch the ball more than anybody else, probably every play.
You got to think that Kadir Green's screen pass is going to be attempted at least one more time.
Gotta
it's been wide open.
I'm telling you, we see it here. I mean, and it's just,
unfortunately, Kadir is only like 5'5", so it's tough for him.
But he got some jets
to go up and get it.
He does have some jets. I mean, he just in both those plays, he did have some room, but Gonzalez just overthrew him both times.
Now on 1st down from the 30-yard line, it's Gonzalez. Looking back over the middle, he's got a completion. That time to Laquan Gilks. Short pickup of about 5.
That's actually a nice fake on the roll. Came back, he looked to his left, then comes right back to the middle. Gives Gilks a good chance to get it, throw it low. That's got to help Gonzalez's confidence because he's had a tough night trying to throw the ball.
First completion of the game for the TechBoston Bears, 2nd down and 4. I think that time Gilks was the man in motion.
Illegal procedure, offense. Still 2nd down.
See if we can get another look at that. I mean, Gilks might have gone forward and then went in motion.
He made a move, but then went in motion, so I'm not sure if he just went too far forward first. Like you said earlier, Pat, this is the 3rd game. Coaches just say, I mean, both sides can say, listen, these are the things that you work out the first 2 games. Now you got motion again. I missed that one.
Gonzalez down the left side's got an open receiver, but Jolicoeur couldn't quite catch up to it.
Oh, the first time they've gone deep downfield. He's one of the speediest guys out there for Tech Boston, and Gonzalez just rushed that one because he actually had good protection, had a chance to sort of loft that a little higher to let Jolicoeur run under it. But see, with the time's running down and they haven't scored, and it feeling like every play is the most important play, you got to make it perfect.
Third down and 9 now for Tech Boston.
Huge third down for them because they may not get the ball back.
Gonzalez tries to screen. This
underthrown.
time it's too short. Overcompensating, I think they're
definitely. That's what you called for, Pat. That's what you called. He said the screen. They had to try at least one more time.
Kadir's got to be frustrated.
You talk about frustration. I mean, and he had 2 blockers in front of him. I'm sorry, 3 blockers in front of him. Execution.
So again, it's Yvonne Grand back to kick. Wynn back to receive for the Dragons. Grand, that one goes off the side of his foot.
Oh, the Wynn just snatched it right out of the air.
That goes out of bounds at the Tech Boston 41, so very good field position for Latin Academy now. They're probably going to have to pick up probably at least 2 first downs, I would say, before they can salt away the win.
Well, I think you're right. 328, a couple of first downs Tech Boston does have 3 timeouts left.
3 timeouts left. Latin Academy with just 2. On first down, the handoff to Johnson, and he makes his way up to the 36-yard line.
Nice slant play for Johnson. 2 hands on the ball. Lowers the shoulder. You'll take that. 5 yards and a first down every time.
So second down and 5 now for Latin Academy.
This is when Tech Boston's been coming with that run blitz. Usually Gonzalez or White, Roscoe White.
Again, it's Wynn in motion. The handoff to Smith this time, and Pat Smith, refusing to go down, is dragged down at the 33.
Boy, you talk about frustration with Tech Boston sideline. They played that perfectly. They had 2 players in position. Watch, there's 2 guys right here. They both missed them. Like you said, dragging White for a gain and a play that should have been a loss. Got to come with that blitz again, actually. I mean, it's 3rd and about 3.
It's going to Maffeo plowing forward himself inside the 30, and that should be a first down for Latin Academy.
Yeah, that was a huge gap in front of him, right to his left. That's got to be an option that the coach has given Maffeo, because that, for whatever reason, Tech Boston really spread themselves out that time.
So Tech Boston calls a timeout, 1:55 left to go. And I think the Bears right now have got to hope for some kind of turnover in these last 2 minutes.
Exactly. They just I think they wore down a little bit too, because you saw some missed tackles. That previous play, I mean, give Smith the credit because he kept those legs churning, but he should have been thrown for a loss. Instead, he was able to pick up like 3 or 4 yards, which made Maffeo's play a much easier run for a first down. So you got to take chances now. Less than 2 minutes, you only have 2 timeouts left, so you got to go all out. I mean, try to force a turnover, but at the same time, the timeouts will get you to a play, can force you to a 3rd down, but you've got to make the 1st and 2nd down stops.
Latin Academy now in territory 2, where they're probably going to just go for it on 4th down.
Oh, definitely, it's 4th down territory
inside the 30-yard line.
This is
even with the lead.
This is game-winning time. I mean, you have Wynn, you got Johnson, you got Maffeo, so
you got
Smith, right? So that's what I'm saying. You got the weapons. There's no reason that this wouldn't be 4th down territory.
And That's going to be offsides on TechBoston unless a lineman moved.
Yeah, it was actually Johnson moved, yeah, the wide receiver.
Right. So Cedric Johnson with a false start. It's going to back up Latin Academy.
It's going to cost 5 yards. I really think now we're going to see TechBoston come with a blitz. Top of your screen, there goes Johnson. Yeah, I'm guessing, but I really think they're going to come with a blitz this time. 1st and 15. They really need to throw the Dragons for more of a loss. Taking a chance, though.
1st down and 15 now for the Dragons. They run that end around again to Ryan Wynn, but he is wrapped up in the backfield. Initial contact that time from Josiah Perrette.
Timeout by TechBoston. Coming across, Roscoe White. Good job to come across to force him back inside.
And it's Badimba Ba getting in there on the stop.
Yeah, the play was made by White because he came across. He came straight across as opposed to coming in on an angle. Took away the chance for Wynn to try to get around him. Good defense. That's exactly what the Bears need. Now they think they're over there now the coaches are trying to decide, do we want to take the chance with our run blitz again? Because it makes you vulnerable. I mean, if you miss a tackle or if the Dragons decide to pitch something wide, then you're sunk. Right. But if you hit it right, if you can get that blitz there, you can throw them for another 5 or 6 yard loss.
And if you get to that point, you back them up enough, then they might think about punting. I mean, they're close to the 40 now.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why you take the chance. I mean, right now it's 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20 from the 39-yard line.
Yeah, I think they might come with something. They might send at least one of the linebackers.
They don't have a deep safety.
They got the I formation with Johnson in the backfield. Here comes Wynn again. And the handoff to Wynn.
Yeah, they run the sweep again to Wynn. This time he breaks a tackle. Ryan Wynn back up the middle, over the right side. Ryan Wynn, eyes on the end zone. Touchdown, Latin Academy.
And no flags.
When in doubt for Latin Academy, they put it in the hands of number 15.
And that's a play that the Bears have seen all night. Here comes Roscoe White. Couldn't quite get there. Another missed tackle. Had a chance to wrap him up and then Wynn cross field and just outruns the last defender for TechBoston, Gilks.
189 all-purpose yards this evening for Ryan Wynn.
We joked about him being the outstanding player after the first half, but in fact, it was his game.
That one wide right.
That's unusual.
Again for Lucas Suazo. Kicked much better last week. Surprised he had those 2 wide ones. Might have been a bad snap, too. Tough to see. Looks like he's talking to the long snapper anyway. So that one will seal it for Latin Academy unless something crazy happens here with TechBoston.
Let's watch it again, and the missed tackle, that's the name of the game right here. That's the play right there. If you make that tackle, he's throwing for a loss. Not only did he miss him, but then all the pursuit is on the wrong side of the field, allowing Wynn to use that speed of his to cut back and just cruising for the touchdown. I mean, having seen him, back-to-back weeks, he has somewhat deceiving speed because he definitely can go, but it doesn't seem like he's really going that fast. But he's like in the 80-yard touchdown to start the game. I mean, it looked like one of the cornerbacks, it was gaining on him, but he just kept sort of just moving away.
Good boot that time from Suazo. That's fielded inside the 10-yard line. Nice little cut back up the field now for Gilks. Got a good form tackle from Oside to Holmes to bring him down right around the 25.
There's Gilks and Gonzalez. Now Gonzalez trying to get up there to throw a block. Gilks decides to go to the right. A nice cut in the middle there, but like you said, good job to stay low, under control for the Holmes.
So a 19-yard return there for Gilks. TechBoston got to go to the air here. Low snap to Gonzalez. And now he's got to pick it up and run with it. Gonzalez now in the open field. Marcus Gonzalez to the sideline. Stepped out of bounds at the Latin Academy 37.
Biggest play of the game on an intended pass.
43-yard pickup.
This is just his athletic ability. Yes, think of all the carries he's had today, and he's played defense. He's able to, and it helped that he got knocked out of bounds.
Now on first down from the 38, Gonzalez looking in the air. This time they run the screen to Grin. Kadir Grin up to the 31-yard line. So about a 7-yard pickup. Now we're under a minute to go.
You see Grin, good job on the catch. Tucks it in. Like you said, decent pickup.
Second down and 3 as the snap is rolled to Gonzalez. Marcus now looking downfield, now going to tuck it in and run again. Bounces off a couple of tackles. He's got to get out of bounds as he's dropped inside the 30.
I think he got the first down.
It might be a yard short. It's tough to see where they mark
you're right.
it down.
He needed to get out of bounds. That was more important than the actual play. See, the problem is his teammates didn't help him out. The receivers didn't go downfield. He used to tell them to go downfield. They really didn't move. So he's at the
he's up to about
40,
the 30.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the 27, 28-yard line. It's in between the 27 and 28. That's close. That's real close. I think he's about a half yard short. Gonzalez now with 131 yards on the ground. Actually marked him down
a little,
just inside the 39.
Half yard short, yeah.
Just 22 seconds left.
So no more timeouts for TechBoston. At this point, they just want a pride score. They want to get on the board to end a very frustrating offensive night.
Gonzalez again going to look to throw. He's got protection. Tries to fit it in there, and the ball is
incomplete.
Dropped. It looked like it was almost intercepted by the defender, Chris Collegian.
Makes some time by stepping into the pocket, but yes, I think as the season goes on, the receivers will be coached to do a better job of coming back to helping the quarterback out. Just keep moving because it's like an umbrella zone out there defensively. So you got to find some open spots. It's one thing to run your pattern, but once you see that there's no opening, you just got to go somewhere else.
4th and 1 now for TechBoston with about 12 seconds left. Gonzalez, nice catch over near the sideline. That time by
that's
Yvonne
run out,
Grand. But that is going to do it here at White Stadium. Latin Academy hangs on to win 12-0. They win the Mason Cup. Take it back from TechBoston
Usually the TechBoston bus will be a little lighter going back.
Right.
No Mason Cup for them. But interesting game. I mean, if you like defense, this is the kind of game you want to watch. No doubt about that. But you got to give credit to Wynn because he came out of the game with injuries a couple of times, in both halves, first half and second half, but able to get himself back together, come back in the game.
That's right.
Made the key plays of the game, the only 2 scores of the game. Clearly the most important player in the field.
No question. One of the funnest players we've seen so far this season. Does a lot of different things for this Latin Academy team. Special teams, defense, the end arounds, the receptions.
Punt return.
I mean, he's kind of done it all here tonight for the Dragons. Meanwhile, for TechBoston, I mean, their defense has to feel good. I mean, they stopped this Latin Academy team who put a bunch of points up last week against Boston Latin School. So.
But see, the perplexing thing for TechBoston is a lot of those players on the defense also play offense. It's like, okay, why are we playing one side of the ball so well? The other side of the ball, we just keep running in place.
That's right.
It wasn't until the very end of the game Gonzalez broke away for a couple of big runs on broken plays.
Right.
But like you said, that screen pass that was wide open the entire game, they only completed 1, and that wasn't until 2 minutes to go.
1 out of 4.
Yeah.
So certainly tough sledding tonight for the TechBoston offense as they fall to 0-3 this evening. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP and our final stats here from White Stadium right after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Get some drinks!
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door. Sorry about that. You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge, My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Back here at White Stadium is your final score, 12-0. Latin Academy Dragons beating the Bears from TechBoston to win the 2018 Mason Cup for the Dragons. Defensive struggle pretty much as you see the shutout 12-0. The only offense by our player of the game, Ryan Wynn, had a running touchdown, caught a long 80-yard touchdown pass. He's with Pat Flaherty along with his head coach.
Thanks very much, Alan. We're now down on the field here with Ryan Wynn and Coach Rocco Ziza. Ryan, we'll start with you. What's it feel like to have the Mason Cup back over at Latin Academy after a big win today over TechBoston?
You know, we wanted this cup for a long time now. I'm just glad that we just put 100% in this game to get it back. That's how I feel absolutely amazing.
It's also your first league game of the season, so it's got to be good to get that first league win kind of off your back. You had a tough first week where you guys lost to Randolph, but then came back nicely last week with a good effort against Latin School. Now at 2-1, you guys got to be feeling pretty good going into the league part of your season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Speaking on behalf of my team, I bet we feel great. You know, every day at practice we go 100% always. So that's why we play here like we play at practice. We're always 100%.
No question. You definitely put 100% out there today. You had 2 catches for well over 100 yards. You had a receiving touchdown that went for 80 yards. You had a rushing touchdown. You actually had a punt return for a touchdown called back. I mean, have you always been the type of player that has his eyes on the end zone every time you touch the ball?
Oh yeah, that's my main priority is to get to the end zone. But then I also have 100% trust in my team, blocks and everything. So yeah, they brought me to the end zone. It wasn't just me.
No question. I mean, your offensive line, Latin Academy usually has a pretty good offensive line, good size up front. What were the holes looking like when you were getting the ball on the end arounds and the sweeps and even on the kick returns?
I mean, sometimes the holes weren't there. Now, and I'll say that. But, every time we don't have a hole, you always have to make the best out of it. Always try to get some yards. And if the hole is there, just go right through the hole, and it's always there.
No question. Now, looking ahead to the rest of the season, you guys are 2-1, looking good right now in the Boston City League. But what's one thing you think your team has to improve upon heading down to the rest of the season to try to make the postseason again this year?
I think what we should work on is, hurrying up to the line, because sometimes in the middle of the game we lose a lot of time, and we're tired, but 100% all the time, or like near 100% all the time.
No question. Well, you certainly played 100% today. Great game, Ryan. Congratulations. We're going to bring your coach now in. Rocco, we're watching this kid out here today. I mean, he had a phenomenal game. He got banged up a little bit, but when you guys put the ball in his hands, great things happen, it seems like.
Yeah, he plays with no fear. You love that about him. He's tough, and he plays with no fear. He's a little guy, but he's tough.
You were just telling him before, you got to eat a little bit more during the week to try to bulk up a little bit so you can take the pounding. Yes. You guys had a tough time putting the ball in the end zone for the most part of this game. What was something that you guys struggled with throughout the game to not score as many points?
Well, we both know each other pretty well. We thought we had a great game plan, both offensively and defensively, and we just needed to execute. We had 3 big plays called back because of penalties. We just got to execute. I mean, it was there. We just didn't finish it.
Now, certainly getting the Mason Cup back, you said to me earlier that, you guys haven't had it for a couple of years, so it's got to feel good getting that trophy back in your building.
Oh, just trophy's nice, but winning's nice too. So right. Just playing well is the key, and we'll take from that whatever it gives us.
Now, what do you guys have to do the rest of the season to try to keep it on rolling? You've got 2 wins in a row now. What's something that you could improve upon as league play continues throughout the season?
We just got to clean things up. We got to play a lot tighter, a lot quicker, and a lot better. So we're a long way to go. But again, there was opportunities today. I thought we threw the ball well at times, but we didn't catch it well at times. So there's a lot of things have to be done in order to improve tremendously. But that's part of the practice.
No question. I mean, you guys are off to a good start in the Boston North. Best of luck the rest of the season. Rocco, I'm sure we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
And we're going to send it back up to Alan up top. Latin Academy 2-1 here through the first 3 weeks. Alan?
Thanks a lot, Pat. Yeah, 12-0 Latin Academy shutout win. Like Pat just said, 2 straight wins, being Latin School last week, and then today beating this TechBoston team, who unfortunately for them drops to 0-3. Let's take a look at the final stats of the game. We talked about it being a defensive struggle pretty much. TechBoston, Gonzalez, their quarterback / running back, ended up a huge game, actually. 25 carries, 131 yards. Grin had 7 yards on 2 carries. Receiving, you had Grin, who was the main wide receiver, just got 1 catch for 12 yards. Grin also had 1 catch. He had for 7 yards. And Gonzalez just had a tough game trying to throw the football. Only threw it 8 times. Went back more than that, but more than most plays, he actually turned pass plays into running. So only 25 yards on 3 completions for the night. So tough game offensively for TechBoston, even though the defense played pretty well. But you got to have both things going. So they're 0-3, still looking for their first win of the season. Now, for Latin Academy, much more spread out. We talked about Wynn, player of the game, very easily. Rushing, he had 51 yards on 5 carries and had a running touchdown to seal the game in the fourth quarter. Smith, 10 carries for 24 yards to add to a dual threat there. Receiving, Wynn, 105 yards, most of that on the second play of the game, an 80-yard bomb, which he was able to take all the way for a touchdown. Then he also added another key play, another key catch that ended up being a first down on a 3rd and long play. Cedric Johnson had a couple of catches for 32 yards, and Maffeo, overall, decent game, 5 of 17, 159 yards, and that 1 touchdown we talked about to win. Maffeo actually also had some key runs on 3rd down plays to keep drives alive for the Latin Academy Dragons. So overall, so like Rocco was telling you, Pat, as a head coach, he just wants to see them get rid of some of those penalties that really hurt them. He knows they could have easily won this game by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he thought that they could have finished a little bit better. Like you mentioned, the penalties certainly hurt them. And just a couple of – he also mentioned they got to get out from the huddle a little bit faster. They had a couple of delay of game penalties, as did TechBoston. And, in week 3, you don't expect that. So I think this is now the time where you really got to clean that up. Because ahead on the Boston North schedule, they have Brighton,
that's right,
who's 2-0 heading into tonight. East Boston, who's 0-2, but they usually play out-of-league teams to start off the year. They're always a tough team. O'Brien's 2-0 coming into tonight. West Roxbury's a big physical team usually. That's usually kind of a tough game for Latin Academy to face a big offensive line like theirs.
You're right. There's a lot in front in the next month or so.
The Boston North's really tough, really tough. So we'll see what they do. They're definitely going to have to clean those things up down over the next couple of weeks. Meanwhile, for Tech Boston, there's just got to be somebody else that's got to do it besides Gonzalez.
Well, and we started to see that, like you pointed out, about a screen pass to Grin, which looked like it was open every time they attempted it. They tried it like 4 times, only completed 1. And the other ones that were 2 were overthrown, then one was underthrown. If that starts to click, then you're right. That'll be like a second type of a threat kind of play, other than Gonzalez trying to run the ball on every play. Because
that's right.
They're right now, from what we saw today, they're just far too one-dimensional. Gonzalez, very good player, as we mentioned, at 131 yards, took a beating, but also played some good defense. But you have to have more than that if you're going to try to compete and try to win some games. So for them, the challenge is to keep their heads up. It's still relatively early, 3 games, but 0-3. No one ever wants to be 0-3. That's the situation they put themselves in right now.
No question. It's certainly tough to dig out of that hole. We'll see if Tech Boston can do it. They've certainly done it before. We'll see if they can do it again. Folks, if you want to watch this game again, the Mason Cup, you can certainly watch it on our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this high school football season are up there. You can also go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/game of the week Boston. We have YouTube links to all of our stuff, including plays of the game, the interviews, and, of course, the full game coverage is all there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We're just at White Stadium the past 2 weeks. Now we're heading up to East Boston for an Eastie O'Brien showdown next weekend, next Friday night. So make sure you check that out. But for right now, we're going to say so long from White Stadium here in Jamaica Plain here on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.